Welcome to our Income Oasis program overview. We'll be talking about your income potential, what your participation in the program entails, and a sample marketing plan. This system has been in place in the financial advisory field for close to 20 years. People have been using taxes as a marketing tool. Primarily, they have been sending them to CPAs and going over the information from the CPA and then taking that to their clients for any kind of tax advice or any type of investment advice. One thing that is wonderful about this is every one of your clients files a tax return somewhere, so you're looking at 100% market in this business. Under our system, we guarantee a 200 return money back guarantee, meaning that if you do everything that we suggest that you do and you don't get 200 clients in your office to file their taxes and sit down with you for a financial advisory session, then we double your money back that you invested in this system. And it's a very cost-effective program. Both our marketing plan is very inexpensive, and the initial sign-up for our program is very inexpensive as well. Under those 200 returns that you can expect to get, and this is your first year in business with us, 15% of the clientele will do an immediate product with you. So right when they are handed their tax return from you, 15% of our advisors are able to make some type of sale. And then the other 10 months that we're not in front of the client, you're able to close another 20% in sales based upon follow-up phone calls and new products that may come out. Something that your clients weren't interested in 6 months ago, they might be interested in now. So we're able to get somewhere around 35% of your clientele out of the 200 returns purchasing some type of product through you. And that equals on average $90,000 in income for each one of our locations that use this system. The program overview is really a simple process. What we do is we mail out either direct mail or through some type of money mailer, Valpak, something like that. We put an 800 number on those mailers. The clients would call our toll-free number. We would then screen them to match your preferences in clientele. So if you only want clients that have over $1 million in assets, we would ask that on our initial phone call to that client. If they don't meet your criteria, then what we would do is we would attempt to prepare the return remotely. So you would not see that clientele. And then whatever amount that they pay us for doing that tax return, you and I would split that, since you are the one actually paying for the direct marketing into these households. If they're not the clientele that you want, you are rewarded for sending those, and we do the return. So if they don't meet the criteria, you get a little bit. It's nothing major. I know it's not what you're wanting to get out of this, but it's just to put a little something in your pocket for your marketing efforts. If they do pass your approval when the client calls, what we do is we send them an email and a welcome packet that tells them exactly what they're going to need when they come to your appointment. And this is something that we want you to be involved in, because we don't know what you expect from the clientele when they walk into your office initially. So we would prefer if you give us some type of pamphlets or something like that, something that we can hopefully send out a PDF of and a hard copy of. And that way, when they come to meet you, their initial visit, they will be 100% prepared for both getting their taxes done through myself and for you to do your financial advisory services. So what happens is, after appointment is set up, the client would then come to your office. They would bring all of their tax forms and a data entry sheet that we send them. They fill that out prior to coming to your office, and then they would bring anything that you have requested. We would then have you download all that information, send it to us through our secure servers. This is a SEC and IRS approved site, So you'll be able to download that information, send it to us. We prepare the return through our retired CPAs and EAs. We've got close to 200 people working for us, and the majority of these people are retired. I've got a group of enrolled agents that prefer to do personal returns. So whatever situation that your client comes in with, we have a CPA or an enrolled agent to fit their needs. The one good thing about this program is you don't prepare the return. Your name is not on this tax return anywhere. We are the tax preparer. We sign the tax return, and we take all the financial responsibility if something is wrong on that return. Your name is nowhere to be found on this tax return, and you have no obligation with the IRS if something goes wrong on these. So we take care of all of that. So once that information is uploaded to our site, we have our preparers take that information, prepare the return. If for some reason they have any type of question on that return, we would contact that client directly. You would not have to call and say, hey, we're looking for this information. We're missing your son's date of birth. We need some information on some rental property, something like that. We don't expect you to do any of that. Once that client comes in, brings the initial paperwork, you upload it to our secure site, we take it from there. Usually takes about a week to get these returns done. Once that is complete, we would then send you an email saying Mr. Johnson's tax return is complete and ready for you to deliver that return to him. So you would then call that client, schedule an appointment, and hopefully you would have some type of financial plan together in the time that it took us to prepare that return. One thing that is really good about this system is I know a lot of financial advisors will meet with a potential client, sit down, go over what the client brought to them, come up with some type of plan, and you never hear from them again. Under our system, you get 100% return rate because once they drop all of their tax information off to you, they have to come back and pick up their tax return. So what we're able to do is fill out the tax return exactly like it should be done with the information that they've provided us. We then suggest that you do what's called a what-if return. For example, let's say somebody qualifies for a tax credit on a IRA contribution. So if a $5,000 IRA contribution is going to save them money, and that's something that you would like to sell to this customer, then we would do two tax returns, one without the IRA contribution, one with the contribution, and that way when they come in, you're able to say, okay, I've got this return, you've got a $300 refund coming. I've got this return that says you have an $1,100 refund coming. So what you're able to do is show them some hard numbers where an investment in an IRA would save them X amount of dollars in this year's return, and it just simplifies the sale process if you're able to show them the exact numbers on two tax returns where you could say, okay, here's your savings exactly the way you're going to see it for this year. So it just makes the sale a lot easier on a lot of these returns. But once the client comes back, this is when it's really up to you to make your sales pitch. The return will be complete. You'll have a couple different returns. We'll prepare up to 3 what-if returns for you, free of charge. You'll be able to lay these out, say, okay, which one of these are you interested in? Hopefully, you'll be able to sell a product. That's where 15% of your clients are going to bite immediately. So you'll be able to say, okay, they want to do a $5,000 IRA contribution. We will then send in the return accordingly based upon what that client has done with you. So once we've figured out what they want to do, we then electronic file the return with the federal and the state, and your job with our system is pretty much done. You're under no other obligation other than collecting the information,